Hello, I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director and founder of ESS BIZTOOLS. Welcome to this ESS BIZTOOLS Accountants Minute podcast, where we're going to have an overview of the contents of Accountants Minute edition 403, which has been uploaded to our website at ESS BIZTOOLS. And our theme for this conversation is business advisory conversations that drive impact. How many of your conversations with your clients have driven impact? It's a serious question. I don't know how I would have answered it when I was senior partner of an accountancy firm. And I don't know whether we could have had the impact that I believe you can achieve at present, because we didn't have the technology or the communications. But we ran promotional activities 30 weeks of the year, 2 or 3 nights a week, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. or thereabouts. Sometimes we'd start at 6 p.m. and go to 9 p.m. And we would get anywhere between 10 and 50 people to our presentations. And we used to have an annual presentation. We had it in a very large secondary school's assembly hall. We used to get 500 or 600 people to it. And we would talk about the range of services that an accountancy firm could supply to SMEs to help them run better businesses. Moving forward, we've now developed ESS BIZTOOLS as a standalone product that's available for accountants and bookkeepers and business advisors to subscribe to be able to get the resources, the material which we've produced, using my knowledge that I've developed from a lifetime of work as an accountant, as Chief Financial Officer and Company Secretary of a listed public company, where I learned a lot about how the big end of town run their businesses. And I believe a lot of how the big end of town operate could be and should be replicated in small business. And I think that's the big opportunity that we have. I think there's a real reason for accountants who are supplying SMEs, that group of accounting firms, probably 10, 12,000 of them around Australia. And if you add bookkeepers in, probably another 7 to 10,000. It's a great mass of people who are concentrating on the SME market. I think we need to be more forthright in indicating to that market the services that you can provide to them. And our resources will help you, of course. But you can give them better guidance. You can show them the value of your services by improving their business. That might be improving in their debtors collections, because debtors days outstanding suddenly has some real focus given to it. It might be because you have implemented the weekly performance and profitability reports, and you are able to highlight when a problem may have occurred in a particular week. And by identifying it, the problem's been fixed. But perhaps you could then sit down and have a conversation with your client and point out to them that that problem was a $3,000 problem that could have been repeated week after week after week for the remainder of the year, and then into the new financial year until you had prepared their annual set of accounts and tax returns. And then it might not be obvious unless you sat down then and analysed activities like gross profit percentages and pointed out to your clients that it's been a bit lower this year, or significantly lower. Had they noticed? And it could have been a problem that had been replicated throughout those periods of time. And this is one of the real hassles that SMEs have got. So we've developed the Business Plus newsletter. It's more than a newsletter, though. It's not just a communication tool. It's a client engagement system and a business development strategy. A gentleman that I've known now for nearly 30 years, Trevor Marchant, who trades as Marchant Dallas and is the author of the Boss Factor Library, rang me the other day and sent me a message. Now, I do a fair bit of work with Trevor. He's a good salesman, a good sales trainer. He was the Westpac training sales managers years ago. You didn't know banks had sales training managers, did you? But they do. And Trevor has often said to me, if banks needed a sales training manager, so do accountants. And Trevor asked me why our Business Plus articles did not have more about selling. And I said, well, that's a product we've designed for accountants to be sending to their clients. That's you in sales mode as I see it. I'd be interested to hear if you think we should have more sales orientation to Business Plus, which is really what we're talking about in this edition of Accountant's Minute. But I think it's important that we dwell a bit longer on what Trevor raised, because it's a good point. Every business needs to be selling. And what we see, the development of Business Plus as a monthly newsletter and you sending it to your clients, together with the other resources which we have in ESS BIZTOOLS, all assist you to be promoting your services or selling them to your clients, because you need to make them aware that you can supply these services. Now, when you think about it, one of your clients running a retail business has to go out and tell their customers every time they introduce something new, don't they? They've got a new product or a new service, they promote it. They may even run a TV ad, but they definitely communicate. They put a video onto their website, or they send special promotional letters. They may invite their customers to a promotional launch. They may get some contribution to that launch, of course, from the overall national distributor. But they launch and they sell and they promote. I think you could be looking at doing similar things. You could be going through some of these suggestions that we've made in Accountant's Minute as to how you could better promote your services to your client. And you could be saying to them, we're going to have a promotion which will look at some of the things to see whether that will spark some thoughts. Because what you really want to do is sit down and have a discussion with your client. So you could have a promotion about, are you interested in buying a business? Come to our promotional launch and we'll take you through how we will guide you as a new business person. You would want to make sure that you talk to them about fiscal management, which was the big issue that MYOB discovered in their review of 1,000 of their subscribers about 14 months ago. And it was published in the Financial Review. People had misunderstanding of how the credit system worked. People didn't know how to calculate debtors' days outstanding. There'd been an assumption made that anyone had asked for credit, the business was obligated to supply them product on a credit basis, which is wrong, of course. And there was a belief that everyone would pay them in 30 days. It'd be great if the system worked that way, but it doesn't. You could talk to them about the director's role in small business, because thousands of our clients become directors of companies and really have got no idea what their duties, responsibilities, and more important, their legal obligations are as a company director. Now, the material we've produced is a small version of the company directors course conducted by the Institute of Chartered Accountants. I attended that course and became a fellow of the Institute of Company Directors, But Most SMEs don't need to do that, and it costs a fair bit of money, and they spend a week away at a centre in a capital city. The material we've got within ESS BizTools will enable you to be the mentor with your clients to explain to them company directors' duties, company secretaries' duties, responsibilities, and obligations. And this could lead into a conversation on corporate governance. Perhaps your client is asking you to prepare the business plan. That's great. In fact, you should be insisting you're preparing the business plan. And from that, the interpretation of the business plan into financial terminology, the predictive accounting reports, budgets, the key drivers, the all-important key drivers. That's the sub-accounts for debtors, inventory, raw materials, inventory, completed stocks, capital expenditure, research and development activities. Important that you are able to really identify what the plan was on those individual items so you can compare it to the actual figures coming forth. Because the exercises might be showing to you that you're going to have some cash flow difficulties down the track. What are you going to do about it as the advisor to your client? Now, none of this comes up in normal terms when you're just doing the tax return, does it? But this is the real business world. And this is where thousands of clients are running into trouble around Australia. Thousands of SMEs. The failure rate's up. They've got real problems in a whole range of activities. They need someone to talk to. Someone like you as their accountant, because you understand their figures and their business. But there's a lot more input that you can make to them. To be the sounding board, to prepare costing exercises, to help them understand the jungle that most of them operate in. And it will supply interesting and challenging work for your accounting team members. So please think about it. How can you help your clients? And this is all part of the sales process that Trevor Marchant was talking about. As accountants, we need to communicate and do that sales promotion that you would expect your clients to do to launch a new product or service that they are offering in their commercial activities. You're also in the commercial world. In fact, one of the key services that we believe that we are presenting to you so you can offer to your clients is commercial knowledge. Because we indicate that the advisory services that are embedded into the ESS BizTools system cover financial, and that's the 52-week business enhancement system, the daily, monthly, annual reporting system, and weekly, of course, daily, weekly, monthly, annual. Where's all that fit in helping your clients to improve their activities? So I hope that Business Plus, which is what we're featuring here, is a vital communication tool to assist you to market your services, to sell your services to your clients. Because please think about it. What do you tell a client that says to you they've got a new product range in? You're looking to see how they market and sell that to their clients, aren't they? Well, if you're new to offering advisory services, you need to do exactly the same. And in my opinion, there are thousands of smaller accounting firms all over Australia that need to improve that marketing and selling of the services that you can provide. But you won't do it from day one, from a standing start, unless you have undertaken some training and conditioning and preparation beforehand. And that is where I honestly believe ESS BizTools is supplying you a range of resources at a reasonable investment that enables you to start earning fees from 80% of what you would be acquiring in your subscription to us. 80% of that product package is ready for you to start earning fees from within 1 to 2 weeks. Some of the other things like research and development and the early stage innovation company and crowdsource funding equity raising will take a little bit longer for you to be familiar with and confident that you can talk to your clients about and run things like a podcast to communicate to your clients. But some of them you can start earning money straight away. Basically retrieve your investment in your subscription to ESS BIZTOOLS very quickly. So please contact us for a conversation. We have a major promotion starting in 2 weeks' time. 7th of May is our first presentation. And we will be sending you more information about that. And in next week's podcast, we're going to feature some details about the 4 major presentations that we are presenting in May and June this year. And we are offering them as a selling activity. We are open about it. I'm trying to sell the services that we have developed so that you will pay us a small fee to use those services for 12 months and hopefully for many years to come, because we will continue to review and update the services. We will continue to write the Business Plus newsletter each month. We will continue with the overall promotion of the services that I honestly believe accountants are the best placed group of people in Australia to offer these services to SME clients. Please send me an email if you have any questions, peter@essbiztools.com.au, or give me a telephone call, 0418 190 181, and we will organise a 40-minute complimentary Zoom meeting with you and your colleagues to outline to you my thoughts on how you should go about the delivery of product enhancing services to your SME clients. Stay safe. Have a great day. Goodbye.